We run over here. The broadcast is going. And then we wait for the stream to catch up with the rest of the Google Hangouts, which I'm still not totally sold on. Waiting for that volume to happen. Any second now. No, seriously, we're your mom's basement. Give me a second. Why isn't this working? Just want it to work.
Is it not working?
And any second now. Got it. Boom.
It's so awkward. Why is that so awkward?
So, I mean, because I want to be able to look at the chat while the episode's going, so you have to open up the other tab on your browser, but then the volume starts playing because it's like on a delay when we're actually broadcasting. So it's kind of a bitch. It's like, wait, like you're like, hi, really, the show's going on. Give me a second. Give me a second. And it's really awkward and weird. So anyways, it's Your Mom's Basement, episode 11, fuck yes, with I Am Kirk FM, and this is Your Mom's Basement. What is Your Mom's Basement? Well, first of all, we're going to change it up a little bit tonight because we had to call it audible. We'll get to that in just a second. But Your Mom's Basement is an interactive comic book club. I wanted to have a comic book club. Couldn't find one. So I decided to turn to the internet and strangers and friends and try to build a community, and it's totally been a lot of fun. It's easily been the best idea I've had all year. And I get to do it with you guys. And so we like find a book that we're going to talk about, and then we read it, and we all meet here live, and then we talk about the book together, and then we have the chat, which is super, super awesome. Am I pointing the right way when I do that? Am I pointing? Is it a mirror image? So if I do this, am I pointing to the chat? Kinda. I'm learning. We're still learning. But so you guys also read the book, and then we all talk about it together, and it's super fucking fun. And hopefully, like, sometimes it's something that you haven't read, and you go, holy shit, I want to check this out. And then you go check it out. And then you come back, and then you leave comments down below, and we keep the conversation going. And on top of that, like, just because you missed the live show, that doesn't matter, because all the episodes get archived onto the YouTube page, and then you get to go back and revisit these conversations. We just keep it going, and it perpetuates itself, and in a really good way. But basically, we're just trying to enable each other to read more and build the community. And so I'm really excited every week when we get to do this on Sundays, when we decide to go up against Game of Thrones, because we're idiots like that. But it's okay. You DVR'd Game of Thrones already. You're fine. Anyways, so we did something a little different tonight. We were going to talk. Let me get the book. Have your props fucking ready, Kirk. Jesus. Forgot what.
Captain.
Okay. So we were going to talk Captara tonight by Chip Zdarsky and Kagan McLeod. Here's what we're going to have to do, though. Right now, it's only me and Savanna tonight. Ian has...
Oh, you're all screwed.
Yeah. You're fucked. But essentially what happened was Ian had something come up last second, so he was like, we can't do the show tonight. And I went, okay, that's cool. Hope everything's fine. Go handle your shit. So instead, because we really wanted to get Ian on this conversation, Captara is going to go next week. So that gives you a second week to go get caught up on this. Go read it. We'll meet back here next week. Because yesterday was Free Comic Book Day. Savannah and I are going to talk about that. And then we're going to have a Civil War conversation, motherfuckers. It's going to be spoiler-filled. Savannah and I saw it over the weekend, and so we're calling it audible. It's a fucking Captain America Civil War live stream conversation happening tonight. And on top of that, we're really kind of really excited to be doing this. Like I said, a bunch of fucking spoilers. Now, here's something else we're also going to try. I know I got a couple of my viewers. We already, dude, Samurai Ox is already in here. Yoronan's already in here. Fucking awesome guys in the chat. Here's what we're going to do. While we're talking about some of the new issues that came out this week, and while we talk about Free Comic Book Day, if you follow myself or Savannah on Twitter, and you are set up for live streaming, and you saw Captain America, and you want to join in on the conversation, why don't you shoot me a message on DM, and then we'll shoot you the link to join the Hangout tonight. And we'll pick one of you to join the conversation later in the show. Hopefully we have enough people watching it.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. You all suck.
So you get to talk Civil War with us. And that sounds like a lot of fucking fun. That said, this is episode 11, so we're going to call the audible tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Savannah, take it away. Let's talk about all the awesome things that are happening today on Mother's Day. Miss Savannah, how was your Mother's Day?
Hi, it was really good. Since we're winging it officially, that's what winging it looks like. I live in Simi Valley. A lot of people already know that. So Ventura is really close, and that's where I go to like escape. So I went there and had brunch and went shopping and then came home. It was rad.
It's a good Mother's Day.
It was epic.
Hold on one second. That's my Twitter going crazy right now.
Whoa.
I got off the hook last week. I had to go over and build like IKEA furniture for my mom, which was enough, and then like hang pictures and nail like hangers into her wall.
You did man things.
I did man things around my mom's apartment, in my mom's basement.
Awesome.
And so she was like, "Oh, you're off the hook." And then today she was like, "So we should go do brunch tomorrow." I'm like, "We're gonna go do brunch tomorrow." So my Mother's Day's gonna happen tomorrow.
Brunch is awesome. There's usually bacon and lunch included. So.
Yeah, dude. On top of that, I've been going to this place. I'm in North Hollywood, so I'm like Toluca Lake adjacent. I found this fucking awesome gastropub that I've been starting to frequent a little bit called Catcher in the Rye.
Ooh.
And it's a fucking literary themed gastropub. So it's Catcher in the Rye, but they got lots of rye whiskey and all the drinks are like, yeah, you should go with me. It's great.
I want to go with you. Take me to your leader.
And it's big couches and shelves filled with books and cocktails named after your favorite authors. Like
had me at whiskey and books.
Whiskey and books.
Couches.
And they got board games. I'm a sucker for board
games. Board games. I love board games. We'll smoke you in checkers.
And you probably would. But Connect 4, I'll win in 3 moves.
No way. You can't. It's Connect 4. How does that work? Yeah, all right. But Risk. How about Risk? Let's talk about that.
Risk.
Global domination is kind of my thing, if you know me at all.
Risk is one of those things where you set up like a 6-hour game, make sure you've got plenty of beer and a barbecue's happening.
Oh, no. 4 people and boxing gloves and no alcohol and space. Lots of space. You got to be able to like not touch each other.
I've seen friendship end and family split apart because of a game of Risk.
So real. I can't even get into those stories right now. But yes, so real. And I'm always like the black extinction. It's a competitive game.
Oh, yeah. And Savannah's just like, I'm black. I'm going to be the plague. I'm going to take over every country.
Every country.
There's another one. Oh, shoot. It's a pretty good game. I think it's called, you guys can help me out, but it was something like Pandemic. And Pandemic's a really fun game because you have to kind of like fight a disease that's trying to take over the world. Ooh. But you have to work together as a team because you're actually kind of playing against the board. And the board usually always wins.
It's like Jumanji.
Yeah.
The board always wins.
Fucking bullshit.
I love Jumanji.
So here is my deal. I think that was enough talking. I think we got this like really fucking into it. Yesterday was Free Comic Book Day. If you don't know what Free Comic Book Day is, it's pretty much the best time to go out and go hit your local comic book shop and also try out some other new shops because they do amazing things like give away fucking comic books. They even do special edition comics that only come out that day. Also, it's kind of an excuse to get you out into the shop. I had a really awesome experience. In comic shop next to me called Blast Off did their Comic Fest, and they actually take over a parking lot in the neighborhood, and they had like a bunch of different vendors, and they had a guy doing balloon superhero creature things, and they had yeah, it's pretty cool. They had a beer garden, and they had
beer. Take me to all these places you go. Mine had some guy in a Spider-Man costume trying to like talk to people, and I was just like, get away from me. And first off, if you're dressed as Spider-Man and you don't recognize my Spider-Woman t-shirt, you need to just turn around and walk right out the store. Let's go there. He's like, oh, I like your shirt. Where'd you get that? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, that shirt, that's from that bar down the street. And I was like, what? No, that's crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. Walk away, Spider-Man, walk away.
Let me ask you, was he even employed by the shop for Free Comic Book Day, or was he just?
I think he was a friend of the shop, just dressed as Spider-Man. And I love my shop, and I love the people that work there. But talk to me. You don't need to talk to me. There were so many people there. It was so packed. There was a line out there to meet another one of the artists there, and I don't remember who it was, but I was just there to get my books. The
That was it. You're just like, I just want my books. And it's like, it's free comic shit.
well, I bought trades because they were like buy 3 get 1, so
Yeah,
I got one free. And then
I
my store
took advantage
has specials all month, so every Saturday it's like a different special. There's like comic books by the pound, and buy this many get this many, 30% off statues. He's got specials all month every Saturday, so it's kind of like a themed month thing. And a lot of other shops have that too. It's a good time to go like buy books and buy trades.
Oh, I definitely picked up some trades at like
prices. Yeah, I'm gonna be buying a lot of trades this year.
But dude, I'm also a comic book shop whore because I don't.
Oh, you are. I'm a purist. Mm-hmm. One store to rule them all.
I know. I like to spread the love of my my money as much as possible to look. But like, I didn't have time to go to House of Secrets. I did have time to go hit one of the Earth 2s. I did hit the Comic Fest at Blast Off, and I did check out this new place over in Burbank called the Perky Nerd, and I think that's a really good job. Yeah, in Burbank, and I really like. I mean, I really hope it happens for these guys, because I also think Burbank was maybe not the best location for it because you're right in between like 3 other shops that are all really great. But it was a really nice, welcoming, like they just opened earlier this month type place. They sell cold pressed coffee, hence the name. Really nice.
I thought it was like young chicks or something. The Perky Nerd.
Yeah, I think they're trying to. I mean, hopefully they are going to get more like female readers and female clientele that are not intimidated to go into a shop and deal with like freaking trolls and gatekeepers and some of the other shops that we don't talk about.
We smash gatekeepers.
Yeah, fuck the gatekeepers, dude. We like to blow those gates open and invite as many people into our awesome fandom.
All the people.
Comics. But also, I had something really cool happen. I did get to meet. We talked about it last week. Savanna read this. We talked about it on the DEC podcast. You should go check that out. Link down below. We did talk about this one comic called Joyride. This is an alternate cover, and it's the Tula Lotte variant. I actually got to meet with Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, and they were really fucking awesome dudes. I got to tell them how much I appreciated their comic. I got to ask them what it's like to work for Boom Studios. They had nothing but glowing things to say about their experience over there. They were really excited that everyone was like, you knew. We had a really good conversation. They're a fucking riot. Definitely go find those guys on Twitter and follow them and support them. The cool part is, if you look at the comic, it was supposed to be a number 1 of 4. I'm like, I'm really excited to see where the series goes, and I'll be really sad when it ends. He goes, fret not, young reader. I was like, thank you for calling me young. That's sweet. But he goes, yeah, that 104 is total bullshit. We just found out yesterday that it's going to be an ongoing series.
Oh, yay. That's so cool. Good for them.
Yeah.
It's a really good book. I got the first one, too. I really love it.
Yeah. I got them to sign it.
Joyride. Aw, that's fun. Good free comic.
So I was really excited. Go support those guys. And on top of that, like they were talking about how the company's really like on faith, like was really supportive of them. And then they also have a really great graphic designer. That's what I was really excited about, because all the books that Boom's been putting out recently just look beautiful.
Yeah.
So whoever did the design work for the Klaus Grant Morrison comic, it's great. Whoever did the design, apparently I think it's all the same guy. He also did the Kennel Block Blues, which not everyone sold on. Personally, I love that book, but he's the one who's helping it make look really nice, and he's also the guy that worked on Joyride. So I'm really excited with all the shit that's going on at Boom and indie titles in general. If you are watching this, you know that. But I thought that was cool, and I also bought a shit ton of old comics from like when I was really young. Like you got trades though. What kind of trades did you get?
I got the Gotham Central Omnibus. I didn't have a copy of Hush, so I picked that up.
Cool.
I picked up all the hardcovers for Why the Last Man, except for number 1. So, because I bought that one in paperback, and then I decided to buy the rest of them in hardcover, so I grabbed that one since it was a sale. And I got the new Tokyo Ghost. And I got
I know what you got.
We Stand on Guard.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Guard. Yes.
I saw that hardcover, and I saw the and I was like,
yeah, it's very nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna put my shame out there right now. You want to see the comics that got me hooked into comic books when I was a kid? First of all, it was Transformers. I know people laugh and scoff at me for that. The Transformers comic, and I still stand by it, was fucking amazing, and it was dark as hell because the first 5 issues had the Autobots all dead, and Shockwave was the one.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Yeah, it was dark. So everyone was like, Transformers? I'm like, yeah, fucking Transformers. Go look up those first volumes. Also, comic books that were probably too mature for me that I had to hide from my mom. I had to hide them from my mom. Sorry, Mommy, on Mother's Day. But from 1989, this was the very first like introduction to Batman for me. I was 9 years old, can't remember. The Mud Pack by Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle. The art was awesome. It was super violent. It was the first time all the Clayfaces joined forces, sort of, kind of, when Clayface didn't make it all the way through past the first issue. It's so cool that you were talking about Hush, Savanna, because this was right about the time when Batman got a lot darker, and they had just done the whole like killed off Jason Todd thing. So this cover is super iconic.
Ooh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and basically it was like one of the Clayfaces decided to fuck with Batman and turn into his dead partner for a few minutes and try to like throw him off his game. But this is kind of what I think personally. I cannot say for sure, but I think this definitely influenced the story in Hush when a dead Jason Todd shows up again.
Oh, totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then later on when they went, holy shit, maybe we can actually bring Jason Todd back from the dead, they did this whole thing with that all spawned from Hush, and that's when they turned to the Red Hood. So I really do think like a lot of those ties go back to this really cool iconic issue. And also, I bought an entire run of Eric Larson Amazing Spider-Man when it was the Return of the Sinister Six. That was like one of my first Spider-Man stories. But yeah, those were the comics I was reading when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Sorry. I'm dying again. I'm still not all the way healed from last week. But that sounds cool. So next time, always go hit up your free comic book day. Also, I know they do local comic book shop day. We just basically invent days to make excuses for you guys to go down and comic shops that have sales so you can go buy more comics.
Yes.
Down to.
Buy comic books.
Yep. So where are we now? That was free comic book day.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some titles that came out this week?
Yeah.
I know you've got something pretty cool that happened.
Scarlet Witch happened. What?
Ooh, you want to talk about the Scarlet Witch? I did not read this. I want you to tell me about it.
Scarlet Witch is on like number 6. Yeah, number 6 so far. I really love this book. It's written by hold on, Robinson, and it's pretty dark, and it's about Wanda trying to move on by James Robinson. So each one of these books is done by a different artist.
Okay.
So they're really fucking rad. So the first one is done by Rudy. There's my favorite one so far has been the number 5. And all the covers are pretty much the same. They've got like that Hawkeye feel, how they're all like super similar, you know? How they all kind of look the same. Like here's another one. They're all that red and black feel. So this one that's done by Javier Pulido. And it's beautiful, this one specifically. His art style is incredible, and she basically goes on magical missions to help people. So she's summoned to like this old vineyard nunnery thing in Spain, and she has to basically, it's possessed, and she's looking for the demon to... Anyway, so this is the art for this book. His style is fucking so cool, and I was reading it all the way through this. Like, this is number 5, so you read through it, and you get to like this one, I'm just like, oh shit. And it gets better after that. Like, it's literally like just 6 turns of splash pages and storytelling through art. And I'm one of those people who I want to be able to be told the story through the art.
Is he the same guy that also did the Charles Soule She-Hulk run?
I think so. His style is very...
Damn. Then I definitely really need...
Very, very, very legit and recognizable, in my opinion. It's a lot like that House of Penance book. Same style. And then the next one is done by, I think it's Savage, but with a U, Savage. And it's another story. So this time she's in Paris. Marguerite Sauvage, I guess is how you say her name, and she's helping one of the French superheroes through a really rough time. His wife dies, and she basically brings him back, and she's like this gorgeous thing, and they talk about like who his wife was and their relationship together and how sad he is. And you read it with Wanda's Russian accent and his French accent, I guess, in my head, but the style of this book is so completely different than the other one. I love the way that they're attacking this title, but she still has the same mission and the same everything throughout. So
that's fucking awesome. I'm gonna have to go pick
fucking awesome. This book is really good for like, here's how she like brings the ghost wife back, and like the way that they tell the story, and they both interact, and Wanda's like, I only have this much time, and blah 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 blah. It's really good. I really love it. And then it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those, filler stories, palate cleansers that we call them. Not super heavy, but each one has a beginning and each one has an end, and each one's an individual story, and each one's done by an individual artist. And
it's a one and done.
It's a one and done, but it's still consistently the same story. And that she finds out that the magic that she uses, every time she uses magic, it actually is wearing on her soul. It's aging her. So she has to be really careful with how much magic she's using. And there's this part in like, I think it's 3 or 4 where in the book, there's one style of art, and then it shoots to her going into another realm and meeting her mother, but she can't tell her it's her mother, and it's actually like the Scarlet Witch, because they call her Wanda, and it's actually the Scarlet Witch with the old school, like, it's so cool.
Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Like, here's how the book starts, like this style of art, and I think this is the artist Dylan, I'm not sure his name, I'll check it real quick, and then it like, when she goes into the next realm, it's this completely different style. Here, it's fucking so rad. Like, I love it.
I can't wait for this to come out. I'm probably gonna have to wait for it for trade, but this looks amazing.
It's a good one.
Anyway. I'm such a sucker for these creators that go, look, I got to take on this guy. I love that they, it all started with that Fraction Hawkeye thing. It started with it, and then I love Nat Fraction's Hawkeye. I love and She-Hulk. I really, dude, I love. I think I'm weird on this one, but Andrew, I am a screw up his name. Andrew Carr. His Iron Fist series.
Yeah.
Wrote Andrew. Like, I'm such a sucker for that. Yeah. Like, I love when these guys like have a vision. Like, I know how to tell a really great 12-issue story with this guy. So I'm all about that.
I like the different missions within the story. You know what I mean? I do like continuing stories, but I like this style for this type of character. Like, people ask me, do you think that Black Widow needs a solo movie? Since we're on like the Captain America movie, I don't think that Black Widow needs a solo movie. But if they did a Black Widow like noir movie, like Frank Miller's Sin City style Black Widow, how sick would that fucking be?
You really want to see that, don't you?
I would love that. That would make me so happy. It would have to be noir, though.
Well, one thing, I mean...
Could you imagine a fucking Marvel noir movie?
Absolutely, I would love it. Like, you mean from like the whole noir line that they did? Shit. Dude, don't even get me started. I love character,
just that style. Like, if you take that style now, like the current Black Widow title is Mark Waid and Chris Samney. It's fucking amazing. So if they took this Mark Waid story and they turned this into a movie, this would be the only way to do it. It would have to be completely different from, it couldn't be a Marvel, like a spin-off movie like the ones that people would expect. It would have to be like a Grindhouse thing. Or like, what if they did a Grindhouse thing? What if they did like a Black Widow solo, a Thor solo, and like a Bucky solo, or like a Bucky Natasha? I shit Bucky Natasha so hard. And anyway, if they did like a Grindhouse thing where they put like 4 individuals together in one thing and did it like super artsy and super underground, like
you're talking like
cool hipster shit,
maybe like individual movies, but they're all like short form.
Oh, dude,
that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Why not?
Just
Well, I know they are talking.
Tarantino and Marvel had a baby, and then like a dash of like Frank Miller on it, just like sewing it up. I want that. Make that happen, please.
Guys, can we just like you guys need to help us realize Savannah's vision right now?
Please make it happen.
That needs to be a thing. What else? Ooh, you know what? Did you? Okay, first of all, let me go. Speaking of like noir and dark and awesome, by the way, she's absolutely right. That Black Widow, Samney Wade title right now. I just read issue 3.
Book. Yeah,
really good, guys.
Lots of motorcycles and shoot 'em up, and the art is rad. No dialogue. Like Karnak was. They're onto that. They know that we dig that shit. That no dialogue, mysterious fucking page turning cool shit that they do.
Right. Like they can actually do an action-packed story just through the art, but it's still, even though there's no dialogue going on, it's really asking a lot of questions and keep the reader like really invested to know what's going to happen next. Invested as fuck. Yes. Shitheads. Something I thought was really cool, and I know people are going to look at me weird, but Becky Cloonan is writing the new Punisher series. I fucking love Becky Cloonan. I love her. Are you reading not Black Magic, Southern Cross? Yes. Fucking love Southern Cross. I actually, so speaking of Becky Cloonan, let's talk about this real quick. She put on some art through the Vacuum or something, or the Secret Gallery. She put out like 15 of each of these prints. I set alarms. I was waiting. They went out at 10 o'clock. They were listed before the pictures were even loaded. I had the variant in my cart. There's no way in fucking hell anybody beat me to the punch of that print. And then because I had that one in my cart, I missed my 30 seconds to get another print. And it ruined my week. These prints, all of them. They only, how are you only going to fucking sell 15 of each one? Can I at least get a 50 count run? You got to at least give me 5 fucking minutes. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Who did that? Anyway, so me and like everybody else who's like sitting there, I deserve that shit. None of these fucking losers deserve that. Oh. Anyway, so Becky Cloonan, I love your shit, and I was legit so mad that I did not get one of those fucking variant print. I threw a damn hissy fit, like in my office, hissy fit. Screaming, kicking. I was so mad because I had that shit in my cart, and they're like, "Oh, this item's out of stock." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself. I shouldn't be allowed to put it in my cart if it's out of stock. You need to fucking fix your site. I'm gonna write a letter. I'm gonna fucking take it up the tailpipe." I'm not gonna interrupt this conversation. I'm just gonna let you roll with this, man. Like, I'm done. I'm over it. I didn't want to even awaken that. Let me tell you, an art collector scorned. Get the fuck out of the way. And I'm the worst of the worst, too. Like, you know how I am. When I want something, I fucking want it. And that's, like, the only thing I fucking wanted. I had to go, like, buy, like, fucking 10 other things to compensate for my rage. Horrible. It was like, you didn't get what you wanted. Okay, now there's a deep, dark hole in my soul. How do I fill this up? Just take me to Jacob Band's site. It's not nearly as good. Yeah. What don't I have from Aaron Horkey? What don't I have from Ricky Beckett? Nothing. Oh, well, so we like Becky Cloonan here at YMB, obviously. Yeah. So I do love her art. I'm really excited that she's writing. I want to see what she's going to do with a super ultra violent Punisher, because right there on the cover, it definitely says parental advisory, not for kids. The thing that the other thing I'm nerding out about, it's Steve Dillon drawing Frank. And Steve is... Dylan is in one of these widows. Hold on. Dylan did this one. Did he? Yeah. He did the fucking... He does the dark shit. He does the dark shit. He does the dark shit. Yeah. 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 He also... Preacher, where I first fell in love with his art. Exactly. He's done Punisher in the past. He also did the first... I know this is going to sound so bad. He also did the first story arc of the new Thunderbolts from a couple years ago that had Red Hulk on it, and Deadpool, and Frank Castle. Wasn't that really horrible, though? Dude, the first arc was great, and then after that, I don't know what happened.
What changed? I remember reading something. I was like, oh my god, this is garbage.
Yeah, the first arc was great,
that.
and then after that, they did not know what to do with that team, and they kept changing. They kept changing writers, so there was no clear vision of what was going. Like every 6 issues, they were putting a new writer on. Like, I mean, they even tried to put Ghost Rider on the team.
I love Ghost Rider. Like, Ghost Rider makes everything better. You can add him to any team, and shit will get better. But whatever they fucking did with this Robbie Reyes shit on the new Ghost Rider book was a bad move. Not Trad Moore saved that. That was the only reason I bought it, was because Trad Moore did the first run of it, and his art style is like legit. And the only thing he does is Luther Strode. So you can't I will take that where I can get that. And then he did Secret Avengers, and I was like, had some redemption. But
I know a Secret Avengers run.
Trad Moore.
By the way, after Captain America, but I do want to point out, look at that Steve Dillon badass Punisher art. I'm into it.
It's fucking amazing.
Nothing wrong with a little love and badass. I don't know. I like.
And everybody is on Frank's dick right now because fucking Daredevil, and that was the most accurate fucking portrayal of Daredevil in existence. If you haven't seen Daredevil, literally cannot be
humanity to him. They finally brought humanity.
Exactly. I always understood his humanity. It's just whoever put it across the right way in the right books. Like, Frank Castle has always been avenging his family.
Yeah.
But I guess.
But he's a human. Exactly. I mean, you know what I mean?
No one's ever put the interaction between him and Daredevil, or between him and another person other than himself, so well. We get that. We get who he is and how he is, but how he is with other people. Like, when Daredevil was fucking chained to the roof, that shit was like. The shit. It was so long, but it was
so episode out of that dialogue. Just
episode 4 or episode 7. I forget which one it was. The episode called Penny and Dime. That was the best episode of the season.
Yeah. Yep. No, I do. I'm so glad that Bernathal's getting his own.
Good. Yeah. About it.
Speaking of Thunderbolts, what'd you think of this?
I didn't get it. I skipped it. Was it a free one or is it a new release? Who's writing it? Who's doing the art? Tell me the stats first.
Okay, here's the
before I can prejudge it.
It's the new Thunderbolts #1. It's the team led by Winter Soldier, and
had me a Bucky.
I love Bucky too, man. I mean, Brew Baker doesn't get nearly enough credit for it. Bucky's awesome.
Bucky's awesome.
He's also got a couple of old faces from Thunderbolts and a couple of new faces, and it's all from the fallout of Pleasant Hill in the Avengers standoff crossover, which
I'm skipping.
I skipped because it's an incoherent mess, and I'm sorry about that.
They need to stay away from the events.
Dude, there's 2 Avengers titles right now that I'm not happy with. Mark Waid's I really like.
Mark
and if
Waid's
you really
want
want
Mark Waid's is the all new Avengers, or the new Avengers.
Yeah, Wade's doing good. He knows how to write those characters. But here's the problem. Here's the bummer on this. The stats are it's Jim Zub. I like Jim Zub. Jim Zub tells really great stories. And then the art choice. The story is good on this, but the art choice is killing me because it's a guy that straight up is either influenced or trying to copy Rob Liefeld's 90s Youngblood stuff. And it immediately takes me out of the story.
That's terrible.
Dude,
it's already copying that art. It's not copyable. It's only okay because he does it and it's him. Even then, it's not okay. He's like one of the most highly criticized artists after fucking what's his name, Milo Manara.
Mm-hmm. And Manara, by the way, he does erotica. You know exactly what you're going to get when you hire him. So everyone needs to get the fuck over that. Manara does exotic stuff.
You remember the Jessica cover will never be forgotten.
No, and I mean, it was supposed to be seductive. I'm sorry. Children were not going to buy that cover. They employed him to do a special 1 out of 250 variant for hardcore collectors that love his art. That kids were not going to buy that.
I bought it.
Sorry. And there's nothing wrong with erotica and art.
Suck it. Not at all. It's just it was bad. It was bad art. Was the problem. There was anatomically incorrect. That was the biggest problem that most people had with it. And that's the biggest problem people have with Liefeld's art. is the way that he draws. When you're gonna you can't appreciate art if you're gonna tear it apart like that and criticize it in such a negative light.
Here's my frustration with it, because the guy is mimicking Liefeld so well that there are things that are disproportionate. A lot of like the weaponry design, it feels very 90s image, super teams. Also, there was something. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to get wrapped up into a comic book when I'm not quite understanding what the hell's going on. No. And here's another example of why this is really frustrating for me. In 90s image artists really didn't give a shit about backgrounds at all. So that really bleeds over. I mean, this whole comic is just nothing but like, and it's a bummer because I was really excited for the concept. The dialogue is great. Zub knocks it out of the park with the dialogue and where the story's going. I really like these characters, but it's just a bummer when there is a certain art style that's being mimicked, that right down to the flaws and errors in the original artists that he makes.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's really bad. And there's this proportion. And I mean, okay. For instance, anyone who's ever picked up a Brigade, Youngblood, Bloodsport title ever in their lives, remember how they used to do the teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone remembers the teeth. Everyone remembers like that weird triangly, no one has that many teeth in their freaking mouth when they're doing a grimace. Bum me out, man.
Those teeth bother me. I hate this book. Close.
Sorry.
Burn it, shred.
I was like, why do they I can't do it. I just can't.
The teeth. It's ruined. Ruined by teeth. Fuck.
Couldn't do it.
It's 2016. We're above this shit.
We can Google how many teeth are in fucking. I mean, look at my teeth. Look. Someone draw a character with like fucked up teeth.
My 6-year-old knows how many teeth are in her mouth. She knows how many teeth are in my mouth. She knows the difference between adult teeth and child teeth. Why does an adult not know that? Because it's art. Because comic books.
Because comic books.
Because comic
How
books.
they explain the teeth in the comics. Dude, just comics, man. You don't have to question it. Anyways. So that was kind of what was going on this week. Yeah. We did some free comic book day stuff. We bought a bunch of cool rad shit. We had some really good stuff come out. Also, I can't speak highly enough. Wiccan Divine came out. That was great. Also, Sheriff of Babylon by Tom King. You need to be reading that.
Sheriff of Babylon. I saw that.
Yes.
And Scarlet. I missed both of those.
I missed Scarlet.
Because it was sleeping on. It was sleeping.
Yes. Miss Scarlet was Bendis and Maliv.
Yeah, we need to get that one.
That was good. Also, Empress.
Oh, I love Empress.
Empress is doing it for me.
I'm having such a problem with all these like space dramas now. It's almost an oversaturation to a point where I've got so many Black Science vibes.
Yes.
It's really hard. That whole style is like about to be like.
And then I know maybe you're not. We sometimes disagree on it. Have you even given A-Force a second chance?
No. Mm-mm.
No. All right. I picked up A-Force this week. I really liked it.
Was it good? Is it getting better? Tell me things.
I like. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this book that I'm enjoying right now.
Is it all the babes? If it's because it's all the babes, it can be. If it's because it's just Babe City, it can be as simple as that. And I'm all for Babe City. It was just not. It was hard for me to get through. Like, it's one that I would like. I would be reading the page, and then I would have to like. What did that? What just happened?
Dialogue. I like some of the art choices that they've made to relay certain ideas that the characters are having in the comic. That's what I'm really enjoying. Also, I'm a stupid fucking sucker, dude. Like, I love Dazzler, so it's got Dazzler in it. It's also got now I'm gonna forget her name from Runaways. Yeah, it's babish. I like it.
You like I like the babish shit too.
Like,
I don't know if it was the Singularity character or
Singularity's starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
maybe she's evolved.
But the cool part is like, not only do we get like Dazzler,
I felt like they used her as a gimmick, and the same thing with Dazzler too. I feel like Dazzler was like a gimmick to get the rest of this book rolling.
well, in this issue, a Thor Dazzler shows up from Battle World.
That sounds really fucking cool.
It's a Thor Dazzler, but we also get by Thor Dazzler is but I mean, like, the art was really great in this title. I mean, that's a Thor Dazzler, and then that's Thor Dazzler taking down a giant fucking dragon.
Oh, did you say dragon? God damn it, Kirk.
Yes, dragon in this issue. You know what it is? This issue kind of gets awfully close to Rat Queens for me, and I was kind of like, that's what it is. That's why I like A-Force number 5. It's kind of, someone's been reading the Rat Queens and went, I think I can do this with a Marvel title.
That's pretty cool. I'll check it out, fine, because I love Rat Queens. I
love Rat Queens.
Everybody should be reading Rat Queens. You're not giving it a chance. It's mean close-minded.
Yes, Rat Queens is fucking amazing. So I want you guys to do that. Amazing. In any case, are we good? Is there anything else that we picked up this week?
No.
No?
I mean, I picked up a lot of things last week, but I mean, not anything else I want to talk about yet until we get Ian back. Mysterious Mr. Mysterio. Mr. Mysterio. Except not as cool as Mysterio.
Ian's supposed to be here. It's just not the same without Ian. But let's do this really quickly. I want to give the shout outs because you know I love my fucking chat this week. Samurai Ox, Aronin. Fucking great to see you guys. Aronin, I'm sorry I have not DM'd you yet. We will talk. It's been a long week. Also, Laughing Sombrero, which by the way, you're already winning because of that name alone. Let's see, Space Wolf, yes, Alex Dodd, Lance is back, Venable Touch. Again, you guys with the awesome names. Venable Touch was here last week. Apollo Yellow, dude, I love it. I love it. You guys are showing up every week.
Hello, dude bros.
Dude bros.
I like to watch
that's pretty much it. Alex, Lance with the I will try to cut and copy and paste the chat and put it down somewhere in the comments or somewhere else on the page later. Lance pretty much kills it with the puns. I feel like we're not doing the world enough service by telling everyone how great Lance is with his puns.
He's one of those guys.
So that's the chat. If anything else, I'm glad that everyone's, let's see, what's going on here. There were some shout outs to some Flux card games. We were talking about card games earlier. That's true. Let's see. Yeah, Arona was like, all these teeth. 6.5 out of 10 for that comic. That was the grading scale. I was like, fuck these teeth. It's a 5.
Fuck these teeth. It's a 5.
5 out of 10.
5 on a good day.
Six Raunchy said that the last Thunderbolts was so good. I want to know which Thunderbolts series you're talking about, because there have been some amazing Thunderbolts runs. Warren Ellis made the fucking Thunderbolts like baller as fuck. I definitely want to see. I know they can do it. I know they can.
I am all for different writers and different artists taking a go at things that they want to do. Like if a writer has like a favorite character. Like, fucking put that passion into a book. It'll probably be amazing. Like, stop forcing writers to write about shit that they know nothing or have no passion about. I mean, artists, I understand you got to do the arting and you got to make the books and you got to do the things, but
you got to arting hard.
You got to art so hard. We love indie books because they're created by the people that love them. And I'm only recently starting to feel the love in some of the Marvel books, and it's still forced. I'm just saying. Lost my train of fucking thought.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Because
I totally dropped my line. Like, try to look cool. Like, I dropped something. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's just like I definitely see that Bendis is really at home writing his titles right now. You can tell that Jason Aaron's getting a fucking kick out of Doctor Strange and Star Wars. Like, these guys are writing comics they really want to write, and it's coming through in the writing.
And they're awesome.
Let's see, what is this? Something I will get flack for this. I don't care. I think Max Landis did a great job with that Superman story that he's writing right now, which is pretty much essentially a indie version of Superman that he's doing. On his Twitter, he keeps talking about how much he wants to write Nightwing. Fucking someone let him write Nightwing.
Someone let him write Nightwing.
What?
Like someone let him write Nightwing. Like
He
say
wants to
some
write,
artist like
Batman. He just want to write all these other characters. He's like, yeah, dude, I think Nightwing, I've got a really good story. I'm like, motherfucker, give that guy Nightwing. Like, we can totally do that.
they deserve some redemption because there's all these stories by all these people that we can go and reference, like who did this the best or who did this the best. And it's because those people love doing those books. Not science. It's just logic.
Yes.
Maybe logic is science these days. The fuck is wrong with the world?
Well, it's always funny because there are certain titles that some companies will hand out. Like, all right, well, you want to write for us, what can you do with this character? And then they do something amazing with them. Like, oh, wow, you fixed something that was broken. Can you fix other things that are broken? And these writers are like, but I want to fix something that I love. Like, I don't want to fix something that's broken. I want to work on something I love. Can you please
Speaking of broken characters, like, what about like Teen Titans? The best thing that Teen Titans has ever been is like what it is now. I would love for Teen Titans to have like a legit story, or even just like Starfire. Any of those like random fucking space DC characters. Yeah. Has Starfire ever had a fucking good title? She's such a cool character.
Someone said that the new Starfire is not so bad.
It's all fucking shit. It's all shit.
I haven't read it. I don't think Starfire is the type of character that you sexualize.
No, you don't. That's what I mean. I want somebody like with half a brain to take the concept of this character, revamp her fully, and give her a new image. Like, that's a character that needs a fucking revamp. Stop touching Wonder Woman. Like, how many times has Wonder Woman had a makeover, and how many times have all these fucking shitty DC characters just got no love? Like, what does Marvel do? They pull the smaller characters out of their ass and turn it into something magic. Like, fucking DC go digging around for some original ideas because they're there. They're just so obsessed with what's making money. Maybe they're just drowning. I don't fucking know. I'm just
no. It's okay. We can have the DC talk all day. Trust
me. DC talk just goes in circles. Like it's a whodunit.
Yeah, it is. It's very much an
ethics.
I've always looked at any time, especially in this day and age, anything that comes with DC, because I do think DC does get things right. Let me start this conversation off right now with their animation is fucking amazing.
Yes.
I love their TV shows. I'm really kind of hoping that Supergirl does go over to CW, because I think they're going to do way better things over there at CW with it than they have been with CBS.
Doing their animation have been doing their animation for 100 years. That is the only department that remains fucking untouched. And that's science for you, right?
I love that shit. I love that shit. And we can talk about, but the movies and the comics, we had that conversation. But the whole conversation starts to turn into an Ouroboros cycle, but just essentially like a snake that's eating its own tail. Like, it's the conversation's so hard to have.
It is.
Because it's always going to come back to the same place with DC because they don't ever look outside of the box. I said it. Okay, guys, let's talk Captain America Civil War.
Back to what actually matters, Captain America.
So we're going to do a Captain America Civil War conversation. Savannah and I did see this movie opening night separately. Yes. But we collectively freaked the fuck out. So
freak the fuck out.
Award everybody right now. We are going to have a very quick discussion about Civil War, and it is going to be spoiler-filled. Fuck you. We read the comics. We saw the movie.
And if you haven't seen the movie by now, like, you live in LA, like, I can't speak for people who don't live in LA, but if you live in LA and you haven't seen the movie, get the fuck off of your ass and go see the damn movie. Like, if you give a shit about anything, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
Nothing matters.
Nothing else
Only
matters.
Civil War matters.
Only Civil War matters. Bucky matters.
So, Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Oh, Bucky. Okay, I had to get that out now.
Guys, if you've been watching Your Mom's Basement long enough, you know that Savannah has a thing for hot dudes that are broken, like Thor with his missing arm.
And Bucky is the thing.
Bucky is a very handsome man who's very broken with a missing arm. So this was right up Savannah's alley right there. Let's just figure that out right now. So this is going to be a spoiler-filled Captain America Civil War conversation. I want the chats going fucking crazy right now. I want to talk about the questions you have. I want to talk about the things that you liked. I want to talk about the things that you kind of said that you didn't see. And I want to talk about like some of the themes and what was at play in this fucking movie. Guys, Captain America Civil War opens up right after Age of Ultron, which was, in my opinion, not really the greatest movie. Right now, for me, the benchmark was still Winter Soldier. This movie is amazing.
It's amazing, guys.
It my Twitter and hit that link.
It's so amazing. It's so perfect and it's so amazing and it's so right. So right.
Okay, so let's start right now. Savannah, what are your favorite parts of the movie?
Natasha kicking ass was huge. There was these parts where Natasha was fucking kicking ass, and then there was motorcycle parts with Natasha, and there was motorcycle parts with other people. The motorcycle parts alone were fucking whoa, whoa.
It's like it was all vroom vroom.
I was like, did
There
you
was
do
like
that?
so much vroom vroom in this. Okay, so there was a scene, and especially the part that she's talking about. There's a scene where like a motorcycle's heading right for Bucky, and he's like, "Hey, cool motorcycle, bro. I think I'll take this," and uses his arm, like grabs the motorcycle, swings it around in the air. The guy goes flying, and then he throws it underneath him and just starts taking off on it.
So
and that whole
good.
chase scene,
So
I'm gonna start saying this. There were parts of this movie that, like, I think the Russo brothers are the unspoken stars of this film. They were the directors of this thing. This film had moments that were taken from like other of their favorite films, and they were like, "How can we do this better?" So all the chase scenes really did remind me of like the French Connection with Gene Hackman, like old cool like spy espionage thriller films. Like French Connection has one of the gnarliest car chase scenes in it, like right up there with like Ronin. And I feel like there's parts of this movie that just were like an ode to great movie filmmaking. And that was one of the things right there. That was just unfucking believable. Also, how they introduced Crossbones, and he was perfect for what the story needed.
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're like on this mission. It's essentially just training for Wanda. Like one to just get her out, and the whole time they're like, we're just doing what we rehearsed, and we're gonna just infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier, and it was great. The whole thing. I can't even talk about it.
Yes. No, we can talk about it. So essentially, like what if you remember the comic books? It was, I think, was it the New Warriors with Speedball on it?
Yeah.
In the comics, the Civil War starts off with in the comics it was the New Warriors, and they basically decided to start a reality TV show of them like busting up and fighting crime and being superheroes. But they go chase down the guy Nitro, and Nitro decides to ignite himself like right in the middle of like a schoolyard full of children, and it all happens on national television with the reality show. And that's what creates basically the Superhero Registration Act, which was just, it's the Mutant Registration Act, but done on a big scale. And in the comic books, the heroes go, yes or no. And Iron Man was very like, we fucking need this. And Captain America was like, it's going to put too many people at risk because they have secret identities for a reason. And this is the world we live in now. So that was the comic book. The great thing is that thematically, the movie does stick with that. But they do it in a really great way because there is no New Warriors and there is no Nitro in the cinematic universe. But they are trying to train Scarlet Witch, and what she ends up doing is saving Captain America's life because he's fighting Crossbones, which is Frank Grillo from Winter Soldier, who the entire building fell down on him, and now he's not necessarily the most pretty guy on the face of the earth. He comes back. He's trying to get his revenge on Cap, and he wants revenge so badly that at one point he's like really close to Captain America. He's like, fuck it. If I'm going, you're going with me. And he ignites this like grenade explosion thingy. And Wanda's like, booyah, I'm a sexy witch with awesome magic powers. And she's able to like contain the blast and separate it from Captain America. And she starts levitating him and trying to get him out of the way so it's not going to hurt anybody. But essentially what happens is that she takes him up into the sky to like the 5th or 6th floor of this building, and then she can't hold her powers long enough, and then fucking bloom, Crossbones ignites, and it takes out an entire floor of this building and innocent people. And by the way, they're all
it's in Nigeria or in Wakanda.
Wakanda. There were Wakanda diplomats and citizens.
Yeah.
So that's how we introduce Black Panther. And it's not just, by the way, Black Panther, high five, see you later. Panther is a vital part of this fucking film. And it's amazing how they did it.
All of it, all the politics they show like that's why this movie was so long, because they actually took the time to like address the pieces of everything as it goes together. instead of just like throwing this fucking, oh, here's T'Chaka, here's T'Challa, here is the Black Panther, and he's gonna come fuck shit up. No, 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 no. There's all kinds of weaving and twisting, actual weaving and twisting. It's great. It's an actual movie. There's like plots on plots on plots.
Yes, I mean, I couldn't. They didn't just throw at us a brawl fest. That's the amazing part about this film. Like, I love the fact that all the little trailers and little snippets that they released online, like, and now clip from the latest Civil War movie coming up with Captain America. And they would show you like a fight scene. You're like, oh, that fight scene looks amazing. And everyone was freaking out about whether or not they were giving way too much of the movie away leading up to the release of the film. Let me tell you something. Fuck no, they didn't. They didn't show us nearly enough. This movie has so many themes at play. I don't know how. I don't know how they made it happen. But every character shows up with the exception of Thor and Hulk. And that's going to be explained in the Thor film where they are. But everyone has a place and a part to play in this film. And nothing seems rushed. Nothing seems forced. I want to meet the guy who edited this film and made it happen. Rumor has it that in the what?
Like, did you the fucking 85 minutes of credits that roll after the movie?
Yes.
This was not an easy movie to make, like in any way, shape, or form. And it is so apparent, but like not apparent at the same time. Like it just rolls and there's like so much continuity. Like
yes,
the most continuity of all the movies I've ever seen, like put together. Like it's been going with the same actors and the same lines and all the same people. I swear they even have the same like control people.
Yes,
running in the thing. Like the little the background people. I think they're consistently the same background people.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Like I've never seen a movie where one scene naturally rolls into the next and it makes perfect sense.
So good. They're mind. It has to be mind fucking.
Dude, the narrative on this film was fantastic. Like and final rumor is that at some point they were like, only 15 minutes of footage didn't get used in the final edit.
Wow.
So it's almost methodical how well this film was put together. I loved Vision.
Oh man, Vision was so good. They explained a lot about. Yeah, they explained a lot about how he works and with his powers and like how the gem works and how he's controlling it and why he wears clothes. That's so cool. Like in like the book, they don't really explain that part. So it's almost like the movie explains the book. Fucking cool.
Oh, it was just also like there were great little shout outs because if you're a hardcore continuity fan of the comic books, like there were moments in the movie that made sense for the movie, but if you were a fan of the comics, you were freaking out a little bit. So when Vision is kind of got Scarlet Witch under house arrest and you're feeling kind of uncomfortable about it, but at the same time, he kind of looks at her and he goes, I just wish people weren't afraid of you. Like, I wish they saw in you the same thing that I do. You're like, oh my God, is that going to be a Vision Scarlet Witch like romance happening? Are they actually going to fucking do that in the comic book? But it made perfect sense for the movie. But if you were a comic fan, you freaked the fuck out during that scene. What was it for? Was it for you? Like in the theater? Was it especially opening night crowds? They're a little weird and interesting.
Okay, so I had an experience, the opening night experience.
Okay,
it was we had tickets for like right off the bat, and then they like canceled it. They moved our theater, and we had to like have these special tickets, and then we ended up going like to this weird back ghetto ass theater in the back of the thing because it was like the over 21 show and maybe we were the only over 21 show. I don't know, but they like put us in the back of the bus, but it was okay because the crowd was it was like I was in this like busted ass seat and I was like, God damn, Arclight, come on. And the seats were weird. The crowd was good though. The crowd was good though.
Okay.
Very, very much alive.
Okay.
Like clapping and crying and sobbing, and it was a very emotional movie.
There was a lot of crying in my theater, man.
Oh, there was so much crying and so much gasping and so many oh no's and fuck that's. There's actual like interactions. That's cool. That's why we do that. But that's why we go to opening night, kids.
That's why we do opening night. Like I mean, we were ready for like big cheers and big like holy shits, and like at one point I screamed, "That's fucking awesome!" And
when Spider-Man showed up, there was applause. When Panther showed up, there was applause. When fucking all the things happened, there was applause. Love it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like there were, like I said, there's little things like, oh, if you're a comic fan, you freaked out a little bit. So, you know, Panther's claws going across Cap's shield. Like, you're not going to tell me that wasn't like totally an ode to Wolverine and Captain America's fight.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, that was just, you know,
and
that was just
watching Tony and Cap interact is painful. It's actually like hurts your guts watching them fucking fight. It's not fun, and it's not like super aggro. Like you can tell like they're very passionate about the points that they're trying to make across. Like it's not just like catty bullshit. Like it's so there's and then the whole thing with like Cap being reinforced at the funeral about standing his fucking ground. Like, and then you're just like, and then to be told that you're right all along, and it's just like, oh yes, Captain America, and
everybody in this film. Big shout out. I know this is going to seem like an easy pandering thing, but huge shout out to Robert Downey Jr. because he finally, and this is all they've been saying about this film for a while. It's a perfect film, 8 years in the making. So we have seen the evolution of Tony Stark through Robert Downey Jr. And the cool part was is throughout the films, he isn't necessarily, he creates who he's going to be for Tony. And he kind of sticks with that for a while. And he does it through the Iron Man films. But then something really amazing happened during like the Avengers films and when he's making appearances in other flicks and movies. This is the first time I'm watching Robert Downey really take Tony Stark and play him a little bit differently, and watching, you know, playboy billionaire rock star superhero Tony Stark and kind of infusing a new type of vibe in how he's going to play this character, because it made perfect sense for the evolution of who Iron Man is in this movie, because he is the one that takes the side of like they need to be, you know, held in check. They need to start understanding that their actions do have consequences. And I was just freaking in awe of watching Robert Downey Jr. play this character fucking perfectly.
We see so much. This movie was all Iron Man. It was not so much Tony Stark. The Tony Stark that you did see is always in agony. It wasn't like playful, womanizing Tony Stark that we know and love. It was like straight fucking work the whole time. There was no relationships or love story, and that's what people always tore apart. And the other ones was like, oh, why are they getting all mushy? Like the most intimate stuff was with Wanda and Vision, and that was very short and turned very fast. And then it came back.
Right.
Then not everybody was good, but it wasn't. What people don't understand is that's how you build up that bond to the character, so that when you do get to fucking Civil War, they rip your fucking heart out because you love that character for being the way that they were in those movies. Whether you liked it really or not, subconsciously, it fucking sucks because you know that this person is a big soft ass and they're just like suffering and they're just like, oh my god.
Right.
Every time.
And this is the first time we actually really see. I mean, we watched Tony kind of deal with it a little bit with his PTSD in Iron Man 3.
Oh, and fucking Clint.
Yeah. Oh, Clint, dude.
He's like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
The whole time. It was amazing. So his perspective, based on just that mindset alone, made him so great through the whole thing. Like,
dude, every character has a motivation in this film. That's what's fucking amazing about it.
Their own.
Like, I mean, part of Clint like showing up when he does in the film, because like he at one point, like the movie really does allude to the fact, even though we saw him in the previews, the movie really does allude to the fact that like Clint does not have a horse in this race. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He's like, dude, I'm retired. Keep me out of it. And part of it is like he's also got a family he's got to like protect, because that was revealed in Avengers: Age of Ultron. So I understand Clint's motivations to be like, fuck you, I'm out. I'm not dealing with any of this crap anymore, dude. I'm a guy with, you know, a bow and arrow. But when he shows up and he's like, yeah, I kind of was bored. Like retirement didn't suit him well, but he's also watching the fact that because he has to protect his family, that this like registration act accords thing that is happening in the film would actually put him directly like in contrast with what they're trying to do. Because like it would be like he would have to reveal himself and he would have to reveal his family, and it wouldn't keep his family safe. And so it totally plays right into what fucking Captain America is all about and why it's not necessarily a good thing to have this. So I was freaking out over that. I like the fact that like the danger loomed and it was going to hit so close to home with Hawkeye that he's like, I got to do something about it.
Yeah, and he's just so casual about it, everything that he does too. Like it's like casual tenacity. It's the weirdest balance that he plays on like the Hawkeye that we read about. We think of this as like this young and not like young but sleepy Hawkeye.
Right.
I love it. It's sleepy to me, but this is just a completely different version. This is a completely different version for me of Clint. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's an adult, like an older adult. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. No, like this, the Hawkeye in the cinematic universe has seen some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not, he isn't as swagger, you know, playful. Oh, it's all just fun and adventure and games for me.
It's all just coffee and pizza.
Yeah, yeah. It's not necessarily that like that we see in the comic book. Yeah. Like he takes his job really fucking seriously. In the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, what else, man?
Let's talk about Falcon.
Okay.
How awesome Falcon was in this book, in this movie, and how he's finally like established as an Avenger. Fucking his technology. Yeah. Oh my god. That thing super sick. What was it? I don't even remember what it was called.
Oh, well, it's just like it's just like a flight suit, but they did have like some Tony Stark tech on it. So they even found a way to introduce Redbird, which I thought was really fucking cool. You know, like you know how Falcon has like an actual pet falcon in the comic books? Yeah. Okay. So they didn't give him a pet falcon, but they did give him like a robot drone falcon that ejects out from his backpack. And I thought that was really awesome.
I'm so stoked about how cool his character was and how hilarious he was. The comedic timing coming from that whole perspective in every single scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were in the fucking car. Whoa. Yeah. It was amazing. I was dying. The movie is hilarious too. On top of being as rad and serious as it is, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like Peter. Yeah, let's talk about Peter.
Oh, Spider-Man, motherfuckers.
It was perfect.
Spider-Man is in this movie.
He's
for like not just like, hi, I'm Spider-Man. Thwip, thwip. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Like they give Peter Parker Spider-Man and introduce the cast for the new film like plenty of time. They set up the relationship with Tony Stark and Peter in this perfectly. I like the fact that it definitely mirrored a moment in the comic books because Peter and Tony have a really strong relationship during the Civil War comic book series. And they kind of poke fun at the fact that like because Peter's like a homemade superhero, that Tony definitely figures out who the kid is. And we get introduced to Tom Holland, who's going to play Spider-Man all the films. That
kid's perfect right there. Yeah. Let's talk about how perfect the casting is on this on Peter Parker. Perfect. He is what my head imagined Peter sounds like. His voice. Yeah. That's. I'm not even fucking kidding. A little bit. This is what I hear in my head when I read Spider-Man. Is this fucking kid? Right. And like I was like mind blown at how perfect he is. Even when he's fighting, like when he grabs fucking Winter Soldier's fist. Oh, he's got a metal arm. Like I legit almost peed my pants. I almost peed my pants. It was amazing. Not just like it wasn't hilarious. It was just like the perfection. It rocked my body.
We will talk more about it, but I loved Cap and Peter's fight.
Oh yeah, that was fucking great.
Was one like Spider-Man's like he doesn't necessarily want to do this. He's just doing his job. Mm-hmm. But he also looks up and respects Captain America. So there's that, conflict happening. But I like that Cap kind of really understands who the kid is, figures out his strengths really quickly, figures out what he can and can't handle. And when the fight ends, there's this really great moment where he kind of like drops, what was it? Like the airplane, like boarding tunnel. He drops it and Peter catches it. And it's mostly not trying to hurt Peter. It's just like to occupy him and tie him up so he has to deal with something else. But as Cap is walking away, he's like, hey, by the way, where are you from? And he's like, Brooklyn. And Cap's like, Queens. Like, it's like a sort of like recognize and represent moment. And I was really into that, man.
I was really concerned about how they were going to do that whole like the main fight scene between them. Oh man, it was so good. It was so fucking good.
But it definitely shows like the mutual respect that these characters are going to have for each other later on going forward. And
then fucking Natasha being the way that Natasha is, dude, she stole the show for me. I don't think she's going to get that bitch. Literally had, I mean, she had lines, but she kicked ass top to bottom the whole time, and she was fast, and she was mean, and she was hot, and I love her. Ugh, Natasha, I love her.
Oh no, I have an awkward crush on an Olsen sister now. That's just weird.
Dude, it's like her face is so familiar. That's why I love about seeing her is we grew up seeing the Olsen twins on TV all the time, and you literally just love her because you recognize her face. My generation sees her face. You can't help it. We love her because she's fucking precious.
Yeah, they definitely but she's great. She's a great actress, by the way. We need to really point that out. Yeah,
totally. And for not being the Wanda that people like have been reading about in the comics, like how like spot on so many of these other characters, how good Bucky and Cap and all of these characters are, and how on Vision is for Wanda to be this young child. The Wanda that we know is this fucking juggy, wise Maximoff woman, not a young little frail. She's
Wanda,
frail sometimes.
Yeah. Wanda in the movies was kind of like a kind of third world country thrown into a much bigger world like overnight.
Yeah, and it works, and I love it. I really love it.
So someone else mentioned it. Alex brought it up, and I have to do this right now. And it's a modern movie today with a big budget, and I'll get conversation, but anytime a movie like this has the ability to surprise me, I know that we are watching an amazing film. Fucking Giant Man.
Oh my god.
They did it. They did it. They fucking
Paul Rudd was so perfect in this movie. That's what I'm talking about with the continuity and the consistency with these actors and these characters in this movie. Like, this movie is so good because it's all of the movies put together. Ant-Man was an amazing movie. Like, if Star-Lord would have shown up, just, like, flying in, like, what the fuck's going on in here? I literally would have fucking thrown up. I don't know what I would have done to control my, like, Marvel Cinematic shit-hitting-the-fan universe. Call it overkill. I don't care. I want it all, and I want it all right there. And
they're trying to, like I said, I can't believe how much they are putting into this film without any of it being forced. Yeah. Like, it made perfect sense that, like, he's like, okay, guys, it's plan B time. And fucking Ant-Man, who's doing great Ant-Man things throughout the film. And by the way, Paul Rudd really does play it kind of like he's a guy who doesn't really belong here. Because, I mean, Paul Rudd is like the one dude that they've casted in the Marvel Universe that they didn't bulk him up or anything. They kind of, like, cut him a little bit for when they were doing training. But it's not like the same thing that we saw with Chris Pratt, where, like, all of a sudden Pratt went from Parks and Rec to, like, hunk. Like, I mean, all my lady friends have ridiculous crushes on Chris Pratt now.
And he's adorable.
Yeah, it's okay. But watching Paul Rudd just kind of still be like Paul Rudd and approaching all the watching Scott Lang approach all these other characters in the film, kind of like, hey, big fan, this is awesome.
Yeah, starstruck.
Kind of not sure.
Totally starstruck.
Kind of not sure what I'm doing here, but like, yeah. Like, again, another fish out of water who's just kind of like, hey, man, if you guys need my help, I'm here for it. But I really loved how he played it. Like, not aloof, just very like, hey, what's my next job?
He was exactly what you would imagine Ant-Man being. Like, there were any expectations that you could have had were completely spot on. If you've ever had expectations for a movie, have them for this one, and then go see it and be satisfied.
Yes.
For once in your life with a Marvel movie, the most unsatisfiable comic book elitists in the world are going to try to tear this one apart. And I'm sorry, your argument is invalid.
Okay, and I'm gonna piggyback that conversation right now, because Savanna, what you just said breaks it down for me. You remember how we like watch film? I really do look at it as Captain America being the Civil War movie is the perfect combination of watching artists come together with a vision and going through the artist process of how to make something happen and collaboratively it looks like everyone like rose to the occasion and did their job exactly the way it was supposed to be done to the best of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we watch film go through like different stages and like everyone's like, oh, it's a superhero movie, and hey, remember when we had all those gangster films, and like, hey, remember when like westerns used to like rule Hollywood? Remember all that? I think we just need to get over the fucking fact this is not a superhero film. This is an amazingly great film, period. Like, I think we just need to, like you said, the purists are going to get really pissed off about it. And I think we kind of need to start getting off our high horse and really recognize the fact that this is monumental filmmaking, like at its best. And it's a big budget studio with a big fucking budget with modern movie making magic at its disposal, just going to like true artists and going, what do you have? And they're like, we're going to bring you an amazing film, and it's going to be an amazing studio film. We're all going to make money.
All the right decisions and learning from all their old mistakes and knowing what not to do, and having like the most stable foundation that they possibly could have to work off of.
Mm-hmm.
Like they laid it all out, and then they finished it nicely, and then they left it with 35 open doors at the end.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That is something that could be complained about, is that maybe they left it too open, but that was the point. Where with the lineup that we already know is coming, they left it open for Wakanda, they left it open for Inhumans, they left it open for Infinity Gauntlet, they left it open for Ragnarok, they left it completely open for, they're like, here you go. This is not a movie, this is a blessing. This movie is for the future, for your kids, for your kids' kids. Like, this is what it's fucking supposed to be. And if anybody tries to tell you otherwise, they're wrong. Anything past this is going to be an evolution. That's it.
Yes.
It can only get better.
It's only going to get better. And I think that we have faith in Marvel and Disney to let their artists and their creatives really do the best they can.
There's enough story out there for them to just keep on trucking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm obviously a diehard Joss Whedon fan. Everyone knows that. I'm much more excited to see what the Russos are going to do with the rest of the Marvel universe. I'm more excited to see Joss maybe return back to the comics and be more of a creative consultant in the cinematic universe. But if the Russos are going to keep bringing their cinematic film history love to these stories like they've been doing with the Captain America films, God, please bring me that Avengers, bring me that Infinity Gauntlet. I can't fucking wait. There's just things that those guys did, like even right down to the title card. That's the perfect font that makes it feel like a 1960s like spy espionage film, and they're giving you like the name of the new location because this film shot everywhere. Like that would have put fucking 007 James Bond films to fucking shame. Like I'm pretty sure those producers got jealous. Like,
I was like, who did this? Whoever's idea this was to do this in this movie was a fucking genius, because it just made it that much cooler. Just putting like those big ass letters right in front of your face for that half a second was like,
perfect. Like perfect. Like, cool. The guys who did fucking, like I said, the guys who do like big budget, like films like that were like, they like guys like creative consultants were like looking at this movie going like, they fucking took our idea and made it better. Fuck those guys.
Disney money.
So good.
God damn it. At least they're doing something with that Disney movie. Yeah. And now that they have Fantastic Four back, I hope, or something. I don't know. Anyway, I heard something along the lines of Fantastic Four is either going to get buried eternally, which that's like a 50-50 thing for me. I would rather it get buried than whatever. Or maybe it will get some redemption, some actual redemption.
I love the Fantastic Four comic book characters, but if
I would love
those movies are any indication, I'm really excited to see Ben Grimm on Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm really excited to see Johnny Storm as an Avenger. Like, that's more interesting for me right now, because I don't necessarily want to see the Fantastic Four dead horse being beaten even more. I'm
excited to see what they do with the Inhumans.
Are we going to get an Inhumans film? Because
I really don't want Vin Diesel to be Black Bolt. I know that much. They keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But I swear to fucking God, if Vin Diesel is Black Bolt, I'm going to like
that'd be it.
Go find somebody.
But he's already Groot.
Tie them up He's already Groot. Exactly. Like you can't cross the streams. You just fucking can't do it. And I want the Inhumans movie to be so good. Right now, the Inhumans titles are kind of a mess as far as the books go. Like all new Inhumans is like Medusa making out with Torch, and it's just that was the first one at least, and I haven't read them since. But
I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do with those yet.
Uncanny Inhumans is a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, like I said,
it needs to be done right or not done at all.
It's really interesting because I think we just hit on something really strange, that a lot of the smaller titles are doing better. Like the smaller tier characters are doing better at Marvel. Mm-hmm. Like the X-Men, it's hard to talk about it. So half the Avengers titles, it's hard to talk about it. Like you said, like the Inhumans are supposed to be like the next wave of mutants for the comics. It's hard to talk about it. Personally, I think they work much better in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show. I mean, that Inhumans work so great for that TV show. In fact, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. works better when it's just being Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by itself and not trying to type walk the rope between comics and movies. I like it when it's just its own beast.
What they're doing with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it's you know,
I'm ruining it. Do you know what I mean?
What's that?
Do you think what they're doing with the Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. is like ruining it for what it like could be, as far as like Black Bolt and Medusa and the original like Inhumans? Or are they going to do like
I don't know if it's
separate story, not tie it in at all?
Yeah, I don't know if they've just kind of maybe decided that the Inhumans stay television. Like, I wonder if they're reconsidering that.
That would really fucking suck. But I'd rather them do that than not do it wrong.
Exactly, because I mean, I think they do the Inhumans right for television.
You can't tease me and say like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you an Inhumans movie," and then be like, "Nah." You can't do that. They
moved the date back twice, and now it doesn't have a release date. And on top of that, like, I mean, I think that part of it is because of Spider-Man.
Like, we're gonna forget that they teased us with an Inhumans movie.
You showed us the fucking title card.
We showed us the title card. It existed to some extent.
How the internet works. You can't erase that shit off the internet. You can't.
Maybe they couldn't figure out how to do Medusa's hair. I don't know.
But one other thing I want to talk about with the movie, and then we'll call this one a night, because this is a really awesome episode. Again, because we're doing spoilers tonight. If you guys remember in Civil War at the end of the series, Captain America takes like 5 slugs into his stomach and dies. The movie doesn't end that way. The movie ends with, oh shit, I forgot to talk about. By the way, Zemo is the best Marvel villain yet. Sorry, I'm throwing that one out there right now.
Yes, that was fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention that. The actor was perfect. He played the character perfectly. His plan works way better than any type of world devastation, world ending, world trying to rule like plot that any bad guy does in the Marvel universe. I like the fact that Civil War dressed like all the situations that happened in Civil War were created by the heroes. So like even Zemo was a product of their actions. Zemo's the best villain yet. I loved his story. I loved his plan. I forgot to mention that. But the movie doesn't end with anyone per se dying. Rhodey gets fucked up a little bit, which bums me out because I love War Machine. But were you happy with how they ended this film?
Me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, obviously, but yes, yeah. I am. I liked it. It left it open, and I mean, they have the whole, because they signed the Accords. They have this whole, what's Cap gonna do now that he doesn't have a shield?
Secret Avengers.
He's gonna get his fucking shield back. He's gonna get his shield back, and they're gonna kick ass, and they're gonna be the Avengers, and they're gonna be the Avengers with Spidey and Black Panther. They're gonna kick all the ass.
Hey, by the way, I was really cool because like when Cap like threw the shield down, he's like, my dad made that. It was a really good fuck you. It was a really good middle finger to Tony, being like, screw you.
Yeah.
Like that. You know what? I think we're done here.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, everyone kind of asked me like, were you cool with how Tony acted at the end of that film? And I said, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, he fucked up.
Yeah, I would have. One, he fucked up, and then finding out that Winter Soldier was the one. Oh, see, spoilers, guys. Finding out Winter Soldier was the one that killed Tony's family, his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have acted in the same way. Like, I don't care if I made a mistake. I don't care if he doesn't remember not doing it. Like, you kill my fucking parents, I'm coming after you.
He's Tony Stark. He's all passion.
Yeah, I was totally okay with it. You're right, dude. It's Tony's passions and emotions that drive him in this film.
Mm-hmm.
That drives all his decisions.
Mm-hmm. And as pained as he seems, and then as dickish as he seems, he's still like, he's just doing what he knows is right. And that just shows, you know, everybody's a person.
Yeah, in the end, like, I mean, I had a lot more fun watching Tony Stark not in the suit than in the decisions he makes outside of the suit than he does in. It was. I love Bucky. You love Bucky.
I love Bucky.
Are you sad that they're gonna put Bucky away for a little bit?
I put Bucky
away. They took like your favorite toy and put him on the shelf for a while.
Okay, I like things on shelves.
It's okay. It's all right. I can't wait to see what the next step is. But
I'm ready. Super ready for it.
Yeah, so am I. That was pretty much. I think we can leave it there. I think we fanboyed off enough and talked about a bunch of themes and kind of like hit some parts. I felt good with that.
It was a good day.
This was therapy. In any case, guys, anything about Civil War that you want to talk about? Comments down below. We will keep this conversation going as much as possible because I still want to hear what you guys had to say. I will try to copy and paste the comment section, the chat section. I'm sorry. I'll try to put that down. That was my fault last time, guys. Please forgive me. Also, what else, dude, guys? Again, we're really bummed that Ian couldn't join us tonight, but hopefully he'll be back next week. And like I said, next week we'll talk about Kaptara. So get caught up with that, with Zdarsky and McLeod, I think is his name.
Kaptara and All New X-Men.
Are we doing what?
All New X-Men? Are you reading All New X-Men?
The comic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you want to talk about the weekly next week?
Maybe, I don't know. Are we doing more than one weekly? What are we doing?
I don't know. Well, I know we're going to do
that out, and we'll figure that out and get back to you.
We're going to spur of the moment figure out like what issues we're going to talk about so we can kind of highlight some things. But we know that we're going to read Kaptara and we want you guys to read it with us.
Yay.
What else? Oh, please find us on the Twitters and the internets. I'm at Kirk Like Stuff. Miss Savanna is at. I'm gonna let Savanna do it because she's way better.
Hydro_honey is Twitter, and Galactus Hungers everywhere else.
Alrighty, and then Ian at Ian Alexander. I've got those links down below. Again, please chime in. What do you want us to talk about? What do you want us to read? What do you think that we should be reading? That we should do for a future episode? I would like to do that. And like I said, this will get archived in a few minutes. Guys, this was a good. I mean, I'm kind of glad that we called an audible and decided to talk about Civil War tonight more than anything else. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out these comics with us. I will try to. The link is down below for the Deus Ex Comic Code, the Bleed podcast that we did last week. So you should definitely get caught up on that. We talked about Vertigo and a lot of stuff that's happening over at DC. That link is down below. Another podcast should go up next week. Also, the website is now going to start doing some reviews again soon. So I did write a spoiler-free review for Captain America. That's up. Also, what else? What other shit can I pimp out and pander right now? That's pretty much it. Oh, if you made it this far in the video, my top fives. I'm done doing top 5 videos. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to change that format. I think top 5s are not necessarily the best way to go anymore. I want to talk more about comics that you guys should be reading instead of what was like the best seller for that week. So that's just a thing. I don't want to do BuzzFeed videos anymore. I want to do like top 5s. It's kind of boring. So you're not going to get this anymore.
I don't want to do it anymore. It's boring.
I don't want to do it. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I like my stuff, so you should read my stuff too. There.
I'll do what I want.
But yeah, so that's pretty much fucking it, guys. We're Your Mom's Basement. We'll see you again about 8:15ish again next Sunday. Is there anything, Savannah? I'm just ranting at this point. You're waving. We're ready to go.
Go see Civil War, read all the books, do all the things, have all the fun.
Yes.
Be nice to people.
All righty, guys. Big kisses. We love you. Mwah.
Bye.